Good morning, motherfuckers. Brandon Gordon Gab, GabGab.com. This is City Skylines. Alright, let me touch my Zen garden this morning. Just waking up. Slept good. I got it about midnight. From work. And text my boo a bit. Got to sleep. Slept me about a good 10 hours. I got to bang together a weight bar. Supposed to screw into the bar, but I just fell out of it yesterday when I finished my last set. Thankfully, I got to finish my last set. So, I got to bang that together, caveman style. Get my exercise on today. I'll do this for like maybe half an hour, an hour. Then when I decide what I'll do next, I'll get my exercise on. I don't know. I kind of want to do some Apex. But I don't want to do some Apex. No. I need something to scratch that itch. I'm not getting another. I'm not playing. I'm not doing 2K. I was going to do 2K, but they won't let me copy my game to the system. I bought 2K16 a while ago. And as a game that's been purchased, I get not playing online because there's no online service. But I can't play my GM, I can't play with my player, I can't play none of that shit. I bought a game. The game I bought should work properly. Get servers shut down so online features don't work. But these are things that don't require online that should work. And this is why, again, we gotta stop letting these companies have shitty practices. Get not clean and play online. They like it costs to keep servers running. But not to play my GM, which ain't got nothing to do with online. Not to be able to play my player, which has nothing to do with online. They're just trying to force you to buy the next game. Fuck them. You know, I'm tired of people not giving a fuck about the people that help put that fucking game on the map. The people that's there, they're loyal customers. Motherfuckers still buy 2K every year. But why am I buying the games that I can't use in the future? It makes no sense having that collection. It It makes no sense to have an NBA 2K collection. You know, to be like, this is what basketball was. Look how far they came. Makes no sense. Fuck them. And this is the disc. This is not a digital version. This is a disc.
You're right. It's not my fault. It's your fault. No, it's your fault.
Where my
You're
middle
right.
finger at? No, fuck you.
It's not my fault.
Crazy, bro. Start with me early in the morning, boo. Let's go here. Going too fast. What the fuck? We need to open it. Drive on the highway. Check out my entrances and my exits. But it just makes no sense. It makes no sense to buy a game that you can't play in the future. Consoles, systems, they all become valuable. After a while, when they become classics or retro, they all become valuable. Finding a working Atari, finding a working Sega, finding a working 64, finding a working Dreamcast, finding a working PlayStation, finding a working Xbox. Why is everything interesting? What the hell is that? Not made, son. There's one exit. That whole stretch of land needs an entrance. I started off, that's the last entrance. Finding a working system fucking matters. You know, it means something. Supposed to. Or am I wrong? You know, when you shopping or you going to a yard sale, flea market to find these old consoles, it matters. So why would I buy a console? Would even care to find an old console when nothing work on it? Nothing works on it. Where's the value in a console when 50 years down the line, we're going to say, just even to be generous, when it's really 2 console cycles, you know? PlayStation 2 right now, I'm like, damn, found me a PlayStation 2. I collect the library for it. You know, it'd be valuable. But, you know, if nothing works on it, what's the point of finding the PlayStation 5 if by the time the PlayStation 7 come out, you know, the library don't work? Like, but you can play the games on the new console. That's not the point. They talking about making the next console $1,000. What am I paying $1,000 for something that, if found in a good condition, don't fucking work? It's not that the game itself is bad. It's not that like the hardware is bad. It just don't work because of restriction. Like it don't make no sense that your old iPhone shouldn't work. Your old Android shouldn't work. Unless it's broken. Just like, nope, that shit don't work. Why? Reasons. I kept up with it. I kept it in good condition. No, it don't even mean nothing on the collector's market because it's not worth collecting. It don't work. Who wants to collect something that don't work? It makes no fucking sense. I bought the disc. I should be able to put a disc in a system that I bought, and it should work. It's not anything. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. The shit should work. Like technically it works. Like it says copying. It stopped copying at 56%. It told me it can't download. It can't copy no more. It is an error. Ain't no point in buying that game. Ain't no point in investing in 2K. Cause none of the shit gonna work when you need it to work. Which is later on down the line. When you pop out the old system. Right now, you pop out an old 64. You pop it in and, you know, you might find a game or two that work. You like, this was peak back in the day. Find a Dreamcast, you pop in the game, it worked. This was peak back in the day. This was ahead of its time. Sega Saturn, this was ahead of its time. Can't even, you know, even the PlayStation, pop in the PlayStation 2 game, they work. Starting with PlayStation 3 and up. The console not even good for fucking as a fucking DVD player. It's not good to watch movies. It's not good to play games. Only thing that's left to do is hijack the hardware. Put your own operating system on. Effectively killing the console. Because hardware is hardware. Turn it into a good emulator system. Because the hardware is not the issue. It's the company software. This is how, if I was Microsoft, I low-key take over the competition. Create a boot up disk that turns any hardware from this down into a PC. Turn every old system into a working version of Windows. Make sure they ain't trying to mute me here. Because they don't care about, the console people don't care about the people that purchase. They don't care about the people that buy. Because none of the shit works. So if none of the shit gonna work, making the console obsolete, let's take the console and turn it into a home PC. A homebrew PC. Who does that best? Microsoft. No point in having your operating system on my shit. Because it's mine, I bought it. No point in having your operating system on my shit. It's real shit. The first thing people forget, I'm one of those people that's like, although the customer ain't always right, the customer comes first. If you're a good customer, you should be treated with respect. People that spend their whole lives with gaming companies, never jump ship, none of that shit. And you're gonna reward those customers with, because we said so, your shit don't work. I know you like to think your shit don't stand. Lean a little closer, see the roses really smell like boo ooh ooh. No? Fuck how long you've been around. How long do you want to stay around? Because they don't give a fuck. And as an aspiring, not just developer, but I want to be one of the big people in the industry. If I had the fucking hardware, it would make sense for me right now to take my PS4 and turn it in to a Windows product, so I can actually mouse and keyboard and build some shit. It's not like the hardware isn't made for games. To say the hardware won't be able to keep up. Alright, just get rid of the whole PlayStation hardware to begin with. Turn it into a Windows product. Run Linux or something. Because I'm more familiar with Windows. That's why I keep looking at Windows. Because if you're going to kill your hardware, you're not just killing a program. You're killing the hardware. Might as well use the hardware for what it is. If you're going to pay $1,000 for a console, they talking about the next console might be $1,000. Who the fuck gonna pay $1,000 for a console? You know? Like, people ain't gonna have a choice. Ha 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 ha. When people start going back to PCs, and now all the game systems, all gaming is fucked up because everybody modding and cheating games. The whole industry fucked up. Nobody gonna buy a fucking console. Hey, like the old folks say, you gonna learn. That's why Microsoft like, we gonna go back into the computer program. We gonna go back into PC. They see it coming. Microsoft just announced they're gonna go back into making PC. The next Xbox is gonna run Windows. They see it coming. Not making this shit up. Because they see it coming. And that's what they know. They know PC. So sit there and play yourself if you want. I said I'll drop a disc that turned from, let's see, the Switch, in between the Switch and the PlayStation 4. You know, the minimum requirements to be a Nintendo Switch to a PlayStation 4 into a PC. Technically, I would turn, if I was Android, I would target Nintendo products. Turn the Switch on down into Android operating, anything with Wi-Fi connectivity, turn it into an Android operating system. But, in fairness, Nintendo hasn't had the problems that a Sony has. While they have shut down servers, haven't heard any complaints about them, about consoles becoming bricks, to use the term in the industry. A console becoming a brick. It's just paperweight. So, I'm not going to attack them like that. Because Nintendos don't become paperweight. So that's where they're strong at. You can still pop in a fucking Wii right now and play some Wii bowling and shit. So, you know? When I spent $80 on the game at launch. 2K. Yeah. It was more like what? 60 at the time. It just started to inflate. And I paid $60 for a game, full price. And I bought me a hardware, full price. There's no reason that outside of me not taking care of my shit, it don't work. There's no reason it shouldn't work. Even if I was Android, I'll be selling me a boot disc right now to be taking over fucking like the Ouya. I'll be selling me a Ouya disc right now to take over consoles. That's not the current generation. Find you a good generation span. Be like at the bare minimum, they need this. And you start there to the one that's not the current generation. Ouya shall live. And I'm taking over consoles that people no longer use because the company decide that shit's obsolete. That shit's trash compared to the new shit. It's trash. The Sony and Xbox and shit, they killed off their own consoles. When you kick out the kid, well, kick them out the garden, they got to go somewhere. That's on you. You made the shit obsolete. Just be like the service ain't running, but I can't pop in my old disc and play my shit. Know what I mean? What's the point of building the collection if the collection don't work? There's no point. That's the answer. There's no point. My people still collect Pokemon cards because they have value. But if there ain't no point in it, you know, not even this is hardware. You know, some things do become obsolete, but this not, this not like, I don't know how to explain it. No matter how old a washing machine gets, until you can't find parts, it still serves its purpose to wash fucking clothes. No matter how old a fridge gets until you can't find parts, it still serves its purpose to keep your food cool. No matter how old a TV gets until they change out the tuning system, from analog to digital type shit, as long as that motherfucker come on, it still serves its purpose. A video game should work the same. No matter how old it gets, as long as it still pop off, and you have disc for it or games for it, it should be able to serve its purpose. And this is why people are fighting back against like smart cars, and why people are fighting back against like phones right now. They have kill switches. You know, after you get done with a phone, like there's some phones that's inoperable because the company says that it's inoperable, not because the phone itself is bad or nothing. They just they like shit. We got two new phones after this phone. Fuck that phone. Hit the kill switch. For people that take care of their shit, there's no reason that it shouldn't work. And there's companies that kill phones and shit just to be like, kill it. A good product, a product that lasts, you will keep your company, you will keep those, that support. But you can't have a shitty product that's talking about where everybody at? Why they keep leaving us, man? Why they don't love me, man? But you beating up bitches. Then I wonder why you can't get a girlfriend. You know? But some people don't get it. Makes no sense. Why invest in a company that don't give a fuck about its people? And that's the people that's putting money in their pocket. How do you not give a fuck about the motherfuckers that's putting money in your pocket? See, Nintendo survives due to a lot to nostalgia. I started off with a Nintendo, son. And let me show you what peak gaming was. I'm too steep. You know? Even just to be like, you know, my dad's up in age. Grandpa's up in age. You know, they used to be gamers. You know, they might not like the new shit. I'm somewhere I found an old system. Like I said, flea market, some shit. I found an old system. I know Grandpa like it. I know my dad will like it. Just because it takes them to a time. It's something they're familiar with. Now, you know, they're in the old folks' home. Hey, Grandpa, like my grandkids. Hey, Grandpa, I remember you used to tell me about your days in the Apex Wars. Look what I got you, Grandpa. Wait, is it that one? Tell me about how the Apex games were brutal. It was fun. They were innovative. You know? Here's a PlayStation 5, Grandpa. Here you go. Something for you to do. That's not gonna work. Yeah. Something for you to do while you're in the old folks' home. Asking the lady for a warm glass of milk. See if I can get a warm glass and shut the hell up. That lady might be mean, but I love you, Grandpa. Here. Buy me a PlayStation 5. If they know Grandpa, I love it. And then don't know nothing works. Fucking grandkids and all of their fucking pranks. No. Fuck them. Fuck the grandkids. Never welcome back. Fucking little shit. But you get what I'm saying though, like just for nostalgia purposes, this shit sucks. Ah, no, no. I could just do because that cuts through. I don't know where it came from. That's the trade route. Little people. Keep the inner city at least a little like together. I ain't nowhere for it to go. We're gonna be able to go under that. Under that one. Alright, and then we can connect that one to that. And then we can connect this one to that one. And then I will have to redo my whole transport system. I have to redo all my lines, my bus lines, my train lines. Get my train lines together first, then I have to redo my bus lines. Because I don't have enough lines to even do here, and I ran out of bus lines to do here. So I have to redo my bus line. I think that for another day. But I wanted to make sure they had a way to get around before I'm like, just to get from one side of the city to the next matters. Yeah. You know, some people, the little things bring them happiness. Like, oh yeah, I just took my arthritis pills. Them shit's gonna kick in 20 minutes. 20 minutes to an hour. Let me take my cat nap. You know, let me get together this. So when I wake up and them arthritis pills kick in, I'm about to have me a good gaming session. You just no scary games. I got a bad heart. Because this is, it's the future of senior homes. We got a lot more gamers these days than back, Even if a motherfucker just want to play. Like, imagine wanting to play 2K as an old man because you spent all your years playing 2K and Call of Duty. This is just, like, for even that group of people. And you can't play a 2K nor Call of Duty. People can't let go of Black Ops right now. Black Ops 2? Black Ops 2 was the shit, man. And if a motherfucker at, let's say at 70, 73, your grandkids pop up, it's your birthday, it's your 73rd birthday, and you're like, I can't do shit. My dick don't work. The bitches don't love me like they used to. I'm in this old folks home. The family don't come and visit only when it's my birthday to see if I'm still alive. And they like, Grandpa, we did some research, and that war story you told us, it was true. The one about the zombies, we thought you was just talking shit, Grandpa. Here, look what we got you. They buy you, what was it? We gonna say PS4, PS3, PS4, Black Ops 2. You're like, oh shit, you do love me. I was just about to write you motherfuckers out my will. Give you a re-energized feeling, that nostalgia feeling. You go turn on the system, you set up everything right, and it's like, this shit don't work because it's old as shit, old man. Go die. You're gonna be pissed. You're like, I don't expect to play online, but I can't play the game at all. Have a heart attack and die because you just got so excited. Like, we know you could have made it to the NBA, Grandpa. We heard all your stories and how my park and shit, Wow, we can't get you my park. Here, you can still create your player and live out your my player and create and live your glory days as a basketball player. I'll give you 2K16 because that's the last one I got there where I can't even create my player, and it's like you can't play none of that shit. You can't create your my player. You can't even at your old age. You're like, my arthritis. At least I could pretend to be a GM. You can't have long gaming sessions, but you can at least pretend to be a GM. Put together teams, set your practice schedules and all of that. Something to keep the mind running strong. Now you can't even do that. All the years at the academy wasted because old people are afraid of new technology. Like, you can keep the PlayStation 75. Too much bells and whistles, too much flashy lights. Back in my day, gaming was gaming. Popping a disc. Because you hearing that from people from my generation now. You hearing me complain about the shit. But I'm not complaining about digital gaming. I'm complaining about the rights to game after they changed gaming systems. That's what makes the PlayStation 2 good. Anything pre-internet is still valid as a nostalgia system because they never cared about shutting down the system. System is system. You know, they were building systems to last. Like if you find a working system, you know, I want when you go to the flea market, thrift store, you find one of these, you're like, oh shit. You pop in, you hear that 007 music, you're like, oh shit. It work. Now you can buy a PlayStation 4 out. No, I mean, PlayStation 4 is a little iffy because they just started like, no online shit. You can buy a PlayStation 3 right now. Brand spanking new. Out the box. And it's not even good for a DVD player. It's barely good for a DVD player. Brand spanking new out the box. And it's barely good for a DVD player. And they talking about the next console's gonna be $1,000. I'm a gamer. I'm a hardcore gamer. Make it make sense to me. I game every day. I wake up, beat my dick, take a poop, I get my coffee. You know, especially if it's my off days. Even if I work, turn on the game, unless I gotta work in the morning. Turn on the game. And game. Until it's time to go to work. Go wash my ass to go to work. Or, I wake up, I beat my dick, wash my ass, drink my morning coffee, go to work, come home, turn on the game. Long story short, I spend my time at home, at work, and on the game. When I'm not with my family or my woman. And I'm telling you, this shit is bad. You know? That's like a person into politics telling you, like, I don't give a fuck about the Democrats, Republicans, you know? All I care about is good policy. And they like, these policies are bad. And you don't want to listen. Some people just know what they're talking about. Tell the motherfucker that follow this shit, that eat, breathe this shit. Yeah, whatever you say, Grandpa. But motherfuckers, their whole life follow this shit. This is just the shit that they do. I got the answer to save. I just don't have the funds to make it happen. Motherfuckers to try to make me look crazy first, then actually admit what the fuck I'm saying. Try to distract me. Like all my I don't keep my shit together. But I did just create new land, new area. So I do need some more water and drainage. Think about your future. Think about your future. It's easy to say, I'm gonna be gaming forever. You hope that, like, to show my old age, due to funds, lack of funds, I fell off with the computer because I was on the computer all day. I game, my computer, I hoop. Back when MySpace was MySpace, which reminds me I gotta change my password from MySpace. When I could create moving background, my shit was hooked up, had customized title thing, moving backgrounds, had a playlist running. Like, my shit was dope. My shit was decked the fuck out. I put time and effort into that shit. Where's my outlook? Is this the code? What the fuck? Shit, what? Okay, there we go. Now I just gotta wait for that. Uh, yeah, you gotta think about your future. Like, to show how far I couldn't afford, because, at some point you gotta start buying your own shit. I couldn't afford a computer. So, it took me a while. I had a computer a few years ago. It took me a while to relearn Windows. I had whichever Windows. I think Windows 11. It's pretty good, actually. Uh, but laptops are so fucking fragile. I couldn't carry my laptop in my book bag without it fucking breaking and shit. My daughter got like Apple products. I hate using Apple products. Not because Apple products just suck. They do suck. Don't get it twisted. But because one, I can't afford it to actually tinker with it. Because I'm one of those people. That's why I like Android so much. Android is customizable. I'm one of those people that the more you tinker with Android, the more you can customize it to yourself. You know, Apple is simple enough, but it's stupid. And that's just because I don't have enough time operating it. And that's with the technology right now, yet alone a MacBook. Don't even get me started on a MacBook. Like I say, it's simple, but because it's new to me, it's a little bit of how do you do this? How? you know? Yet alone when you turn 70, 75. So finding a piece of technology that matters to you, that you knew how to operate, is important, especially when it's going to come down to game systems. For the hardcore gamer, it's gonna matter. Not saying you won't keep up with the new shit, just what was the first console you bought for you? Like technically, the PlayStation 5 is the first console I bought for me. New, out the box, never been touched. The PlayStation 5. I bought me a used PlayStation 4 or a refurbished PlayStation 4. I bought me a used 360. You know, uh, before that, my mother bought me a PlayStation 2. She bought me the PlayStation. My parents bought me game systems before that. The 360 was the first one I bought myself, but I bought it used. Get what I'm saying? Then I bought me a refurbished or used PlayStation 4. I bought my daughter a PlayStation 4 Pro, new in the box. But that wasn't for me. That was for my daughter. PlayStation 5 is going to be a significant console for me because I bought this. I bought her. Yeah, like my daughter. When it came down to buying consoles, my daughter got the new console. I wasn't able to afford the new console for myself till I was 35 because I had a kid young. My finances are stretched thin. To be like money to spend. But my daughter, I had to pull together with my daughter, my mother, and her granny, both of her great grannies, or her granny and her great granny to get her the MacBook. I'm gonna have to pull together to get her a MacBook this year, this Christmas. Everybody, I need money. Let's get her a new MacBook because she's going into her senior year this year. So for Christmas, getting one going into her senior year, she could use this basically through college. And then over the summer, I work on getting her a car some kind of way. But I started buying. She's the one that got the new consoles. I bought her a Switch. I bought her the Oculus 2, the Meta Quest 2, because it wasn't the Oculus at the time. It still got the Meta logo. Bought her a Meta Quest 2. She got the Switch Lite. She got the Meta Quest 2, the MacBook, but I'm not gonna count that because we all pulled together for that. I bought her a PlayStation 4 Pro. I bought her a PlayStation 5. I bought her the Oculus 3, Meta Quest 3, Oculus Quest 3. Like, she's the one getting the new system. The PlayStation 5 is the last new system I got. I wasn't, you know, if it wasn't for a donor, I wouldn't have got that gaming PC. The PC to make games. It's not a gaming PC. It was made to make games, not to game. You understand me? So the PlayStation 5 is going to have a significance to me because it's the first game system I was able to afford myself for me, and to be like I'm 75 and this motherfucker not gonna work. To even bring me nostalgia feels like Sony might have to die as my gaming company. They shot themselves in the foot. They shot themselves in the foot and hit a major artery. Because the consoles don't work, not because it's bad hardware, but because they choose not to let the games work. At one point, I started buying mobile games for phone. Like, I bought Shadowrun: The Return, Need for Speed, what is it, Epic Mickey, and I invested a little bit in Dual Links. But Harebrained Schemes and Shadowrun: The Return, I'll never buy me another digital game for mobile. Never. Because I don't even have access to that. I don't have access to a game I bought. They took it off the store like that shit don't exist. I bought this game though. It's not a free to play game. You have to buy this game. Shit like that matters, man. But I'll be back. I gotta go take a poop. That's that hour.